Okay, the volume is more than just the area. We're actually talking about 3D, 3 dimensions. And to get those 3 dimensions, we're talking about the length, the width, and the height. Let me explain. So a common metric unit for volume would be millimeters. If we have something that is 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter and 1 millimeter tall, we have cubic, so it's a cube, like a die. You roll the dice, you'd roll a die, you have a cubic millimeter. Now, of course, this is not drawn to scale. A cubic centimeter is when you have 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, so that's our 2-dimensional, and our 3rd dimension of height is 1 centimeter, so that is 1 cubic centimeter. If you go and buy mulch, which I need to do, you'll get it in meters or half meters. So I'm going to get a cubic meter of mulch, which is the same amount as 1 meter by 1 meter to the height of 1 meter. Fascinating. And a cubic kilometer, definitely not drawn to scale. 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by the height or depth of 1 kilometer gives you a cubic kilometer. So a rectangular prism has a rectangle on top and bottom, so it doesn't always have to be totally a cube like a die. You could have something like this where you've got length, width, and then your height is here. But the basic thing, just like we found area, which is 2-dimensional, we are looking for volume, which is 3 dimensions. The 3 dimensions are length, width, and height, or LWH. A rectangular prism is also known as a cuboid. It's not quite a cube, but it certainly is related. So the volume of a cube, just as we had the area of a square, here's our square, as being the length times the length, or squared, to find the volume, the 3 dimensions, we just cube it. That's how we get literally a cube. A cube of ice is not necessarily cubic, unless you find a very specific one, but that cube for sure is. Now, finding the volume of this rectangular prism could not be easier. So the volume will be equal to the length times the width times the height. So let's go with 8 centimeters as our length, and we don't write centimeters until we're at the very end, times the width is 3, times the height is 4. And quite honestly, it doesn't matter what you assign to what, because they're all being multiplied, which is associative. So you could call the length 3, and the width 4, and the height 8, doesn't matter. So as long as you multiply those 3 together, you're going to end up with cubic, what do we got? Centimeters. So 8 times 3 times 4, how can we work that out? 8 times 3 is 24. Is it? Yeah. And 24 times 4, 4 24s is 96, isn't it? Because I took 25 times 4 to be 100, and then I took 4 off of that. So let's go with that. And what's our unit? 96 centimeters. We got 3 dimensions, so it's centimeters cubed. Have fun.